South Africa will get to know the extent to which state capture took place in the past years. Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, as the chairperson of the State Capture Commission, will be handing over the first part of his report. This much-anticipated report was supposed to be handed over last week by Justice Zondo, but due to the national mourning of struggle icon Bishop Desmond Tutu, it had to be postponed.
In its submission to the court, the Commission indicated that it would submit its report to the President in three parts. The first to be submitted at the end of December 2021, the second at the end of January 2022, and the last at the end of February 2022.
Some of the cases that have come up during the commission have been attended to by the National Prosecuting Authority, and it's believed more arrests and prosecutions are imminent. Now, the clock is ticking for Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo. He is expected to be here in these buildings, handing over that much-anticipated report to President Cyril Ramaphosa, which will give a light to South Africans as to what was going on during those state capture years. Abongile Dumako, SABC News, Pretoria.
All right, now let's get some analysis on this. We are now joined via Zoom by political analyst Sandile Swana. Sandile, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, one of the things that became very clear during the commission into state capture was just how pervasive and endemic corruption in this country is and how it permeated most state institutions in the country. What are we likely to see tomorrow when the first phase of the report is handed over to the President?
Yes, I expect some, at a minimum, some quantification of the money that were stolen in the segment that will be in, I want to believe that it will only be two parts out of, 15 or something of the kind. So quantification of the monies that have been lost. Number two, the nature of the offenses committed, those that need criminal prosecution, those that need internal disciplinary processes, as well as those that need recovery of stolen monies, as well as improvement of internal controls to say, how do you prevent this in the future? So at a minimum, that will be the general type of picture that we'll expect to see.
What kind of position, is President Cyril Ramaphosa in? I'm asking this because this report, although it is the first phase of the report, and as you've said, it will probably highlight two focal points of the possible 15 that could come out of it. Now that the report is coming days before the January 8 statement, now of course we know that several ANC members were implicated during the commission.
Yeah, actually, that's a hot potato right there. I think that part of what Cyril Ramaphosa has done in asking for 4 months to plan how the recommendations of the report are going to be implemented, I suspect it will be also to consult with the NEC, to consult with the cabinet, to consult with the top 6. So the ANC knows that the ANC itself, the NEC, the top 6 cabinet members and other ANC deployees are implicated in this. So they will be trying to find strategies of how to accommodate each other. But unfortunately for them, a lot of the information as to who is incriminated in these reports is already out there. And the members of parliament and the various political parties and NGOs will be desperately gunning for some people and wanting them inside jail and so on and so forth. So I think you will just acknowledge the report and say it will probably be dealt with in the second half of the year. And remember that he also wants to balance this against his attempt to get a settlement.
Now, you raised some very important point, but sticking with the ANC leadership, particularly the NEC, how much harder will it be, to take appropriate action following this report, whether it's now, whether it's in, the second half of the year, to take some action given the Zondo Commission report, given the current rifts within the ANC, particularly factionalism, particularly as they go into the January 8th statement with the Secretary General under suspension?
The ANC is going to battle with implementing the recommendations of the Zondo Commission. That is a given. And the reason being that since 2005, they've had a philosophy of running the ANC as a criminal protection racket, that members of the ANC can commit offenses. And in order to protect them, the ANC would go to the extent of dissolving state institutions charged with prosecuting offenders, including those who have committed serious economic offenses, which is what the Zondo Commission is mainly concerned with. It's not concerned with murder and other offenses, concerned with serious economic offenses. They will struggle with that. But they will not be able to do what they were able to do before, such as closing down scorpions, firing prosecutors, and so on, because the opposition parties and civil society has caught on to their game. That space is now closed. People have got to go and win in court and win fair and square. So that is where we're headed for. And there's going to be ructions in the ANC with those who have fantastic views of what they think they can do to thwart cases.
Now, earlier you just touched on the elective conference. Of course, that's happening on December 22nd. What's at stake here for President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of the ANC?
We know the ANC. We know the two previous presidents were recalled before their end of term, being President Mbeki and President Zuma. Cyril is not immune to that. Cyril Ramaphosa is not immune to that. So what is at stake on any given day for Cyril Ramaphosa is whether he will finish his first term, two, whether he will get the second term and finish it. That is the two political concerns that he has.
What does that mean for the country? I mean, are we again seeing what we've been seeing over the years, where ANC leaders are again putting party before country?
That is the culture of the ANC. You are not going to change that. The only difference now is that as they accumulate and make more mistakes, as they accumulate mistakes, the coalitions, the competing coalition is going to be gaining more momentum. And the first casualty of that is going to be Gauteng. They are going to, if they continue with their old style of politics in 2024, without doubt, they will lose Gauteng and maybe be threatened significantly in KZN and maybe even lose Gauteng. So that game of theirs of impunity and not paying attention to the rules of the game is over.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about just some institutions, especially the Section 9 institutions, that could possibly be a threat as, the reports start coming out. We know that we're expecting another one at the end of January, and the last one in February is sometime. Speak to me about, are we likely as South Africans to see any prosecutions of any kind, given the number of people that were implicated and also just the roles in which they occupied?
I think we're going to see prosecutions, and I'll give you some illustrations of this. When the former President Jacob Zuma was released from jail under debatable circumstances, civil society took the cases to court, and at least we know we have a decision on the table that he needs to go back to jail, and the time that is spent out of jail does not count. Regardless of what other cadres in the ANC feel, civil society has taken that action. And I anticipate that any action that the cabinet and Cyril Ramaphosa takes around the Zondo report, or try to modify it or try to fiddle with it in any way, is going to be challenged in the courts. And beyond that, there are various organizations, including the likes of AfriForum, who are going to be interested in private prosecution of certain specific individuals. So those that the state will not be willing to prosecute, the private sector will prosecute.
Sandile, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really do appreciate your analysis. Sandile Swana, the political analyst.